Hi guys, Mr. Polley here. So today we're going to read a storybook called Whale Rescue, and just like last week, this was written by Pam Holden and it was illustrated by Lamia Aziz. So the author is Pam Holden, she writes the story. The illustrator is Lamia Aziz, and she draws and colours the story. No blurb. So let's have a read, shall we? Baby Whale lived with his family far out in the deep sea. One morning he swam away all by himself. Before long he knew that he was lost. He felt frightened because he couldn't see any of the other whales. Baby Whale swam a long way as he tried to find his family. After a while he swam too close to the beach. The water at the beach was not deep enough for a whale. First he tried to swim forwards, and then he tried to swim backwards. Soon, Baby Whale knew he was stuck in the soft sand. He flapped his tail hard and he shook his flippers, but he couldn't swim at all because the water was too shallow. He felt very frightened and worried. So this is an interesting word. The word shallow is the opposite of deep. So you have deep water, which is where there's a lot. So say deep water maybe comes up to your forehead. Wow. Shallow water is where the opposite, right? So maybe that water only comes up to your ankles. But for a whale, the water's too shallow for it. It means it can't swim in or out, can it? "Who will save me?" he cried. "Please help me." The big whales were trying to find their lost baby. When they heard his cries, they swam quickly through the waves to the beach to help him. The two big whales swam closer and closer to the beach, but they were far too big to swim in such shallow water. Before long, they were both stuck in the soft sand too. Oh dear. A family playing on the beach saw the whales splashing in the waves, flapping their tails and trying to swim. "Don't worry, we'll help you," the people shouted as they ran quickly into the water. "The water isn't deep enough here for the whales to swim away," said the people to each other. "We'll have to wait for the tide to come in. The water will get deeper soon." While they waited, they put wet towels on the whales' backs to keep them cool. The children found pieces of seaweed in the waves. They put it on the whales' heads to keep the sun off their skin. The people filled their buckets with cool seawater and poured it gently over the whales' backs to keep them wet. They patted the three whales and talked to them to make them feel better. "We'll look after you," they said. "Don't worry, the tide is coming back in now." Slowly, the water at the beach got deeper and deeper. After a while, the children gave Baby Whale a hard push and he tried to swim by himself. He flapped his tail and his flippers while the children pushed him harder and harder. Slowly he swam away from the beach into deeper water. As soon as the water was deep enough, the people pushed the big whales out through the waves too. "You're safe now. Goodbye," they shouted as the whales began to swim by themselves. They were so happy to be back in the deep water again that they dived and jumped and splashed. The people watched as the whales waved their tails to say, "Thank you for saving us." The people were very pleased too. "Goodbye, whale family," they shouted. "Remember to stay out there in the deep sea. Don't ever swim close to the beach again." There, look, swimming around in the sunset. Well, that's the end of that story. I liked how when the whales were beached, they put towels on their heads to keep them cool, wet towels, and poured water on them. I think that that's how they actually help beached whales if they get stuck, because sometimes it does actually happen. Well, I hope you enjoyed that story. I certainly like hearing about whales. I'll see you again soon, kids. Bye bye.